This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And today it is June 11th. And it wasn't too long ago. I had my guest today on I think it was 2 years ago, if I remember correctly. April 2019, and I got her back today, and we're involved in some projects together. She's best known as Pazuzu in The Exorcist, but as I look, she looks a lot better than Pazuzu. Folks, I give you the lovely, the talented Eileen Dietz. How do you do, Eileen?
I'm doing very well. I've been really, really busy, which is
Yeah,
always really, really nice. And uh, I'm still busy,
you look
but
great.
why, thank you.
Yeah,
It's my COVID
yeah.
haircut, meaning it's not. My
Look
hair
what
hasn't been this long since I was in high school.
look
Oh,
what I got on.
that's an interesting shirt. I've never seen that shirt before.
Yeah, this is a kind of exercise I'm not going to try.
Me, me neither. Are you kidding? And that's like a I don't know if I mentioned it, but there were actually 6 people that made the part of Reagan happen,
Yeah.
and she's like number 3. um, and sadly, she got in touch with me one time and said, "How do I get to do shows? How do I get to do that?" Um, and answered her because I don't know. I don't know if people would really be interested or not. It seems like they would, but sometimes you really don't know.
Well, I don't know who would down the stairs like that, but
She
they got
never
more
did.
they got more flexibility in their
Oh, I
body.
know. No, I know what I said. I said, "Can you prove to me that you were in the film with a pay slip or a contract or that, and then I'll see what we could do because I guess anybody could come out of the woodwork." And then
Hmm.
I never heard from her again. So it wasn't me; it was her.
Ah. Well, I see one of those little statuettes behind. Yeah, a black one.
Oh, you can see it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's I think it's my dancing crew. Hello. 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 How are you all today? I'm
Look
a
at
demon.
that.
I'm a demon and I'm gonna come get you if you don't want to buy me. Or if you don't want to do a cameo. I do cameos and everybody wants me to do the Pazuzu voice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is Pazuzu. Hi, how are you everybody? To go to Pazuzu, I'm not nearly as expensive as most.
Oh, some
I mean,
are expensive.
go to Cameo, not go to Pazuzu. You can't go to Pazuzu. You can only get one to take home. Hello, hello.
I should get one to take home.
You should before I run out. I keep running out, and I have
You know what? I'll have to. Do you do
I have a
PayPal?
friend. Yes, I do. That's exactly what I take.
Perfect, perfect.
Yes,
I'll
yeah.
I'll have to do some business with you there. What's that pink thing
Okay,
behind you there? The your opposite, the other side of you.
not
No,
there.
no, no. Over to your other side. That like a hand? Yeah,
This.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, that's my husband. We're both, like I said, we're degenerate gamblers. And he ordered 5 and huge Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh, there you
And he
go.
ordered 5 Super Bowl rings online. And then we had an old severed hand from somewhere. And so that's what it is. Those are 5 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
We have
I
a crazy household.
yeah.
Oh, but I want to show you. This is Pazuzu's head,
Oh yeah. That oh
and
that
now
is
that is the head
that uh
replica. That's the
um
head that they find in the beginning of the movie, in what happens to be a rack.
yeah,
Um,
Lee J. Cobb found that. Yeah.
yes, and that's what set all the wheels in motion, was this head. So I sell them too, and they come in a little plastic case, like something you would put um, uh, baseball cards in, because it fits exactly in there. in the case. So
Oh,
that and this,
wow.
um, you can buy that from me too.
You know what?
I
I'll be
have
in
a virtual
touch.
store. That's not going to go in there. We're going to put it back. You like this thing that's behind me? Can you see it?
What is that?
This is so beautiful. My husband found it for me in the thrift store. This is the dragon from Game of Thrones. Isn't that
Oh, there
cool?
you go. That
It's a
is
candle
cool.
holder. You can put you put the candles right here.
Your husband already found something beautiful. He married her.
Oh God. Try living with someone 24/7.
I just have a cat, and he doesn't run away because he knows I'm gonna feed him.
That is probably true.
Look at that. So I got this
Which one
nice.
is that?
Oh, this is the one that's got the booklet inside it.
There's so many. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful, it's a gorgeous photo.
I gotta say, I love William Friedkin's commentary tracks. He's so knowledgeable, and he really takes you through the movie. Whether it's this, whether it's the French Connection, whether it's Cruising, I love just listening to him go through the movies. He's
He
got
hasn't
such.
got anything else to do anymore.
I gotta admit, when he does a commentary track, I'm invested because he never bores me. Like even the woman on the carriage that Max von Sydow gets cut off by, he says is 108 years old when he did that when they shot that. And I was like, little things like that. I enjoy it, and yeah. No, this is a great movie. I would have been 1 years old in 1973 when this
Oh,
came
shut
out.
up. I was only 10, 12. I was same age as Ms. Blair.
I thought you were 39. I think you're 39 now.
I'm kidding you. So are you.
Actually, I'm gonna be 49 next month.
Uh-oh. Close to
Yeah,
that big 5-0.
doesn't bother me though. I gotta admit, I started really living when I started doing this podcast because Lisa Langlois from the movie Class of 1984 was on my show a couple times, and she asked me, well, what was stopping me from travel? Because I always got homesick leaving Fredericton here. But she invited me to a sister at Horrorama in Toronto. I couldn't say no to that. So I went and I had a blast. It was my first time on a plane and it didn't bother me. And the city was so much bigger. And she taught me well on the subways and the streetcars and stuff. And
Where did you
showed
go? Where'd you go?
Toronto. I went to Toronto. And wow, I just the convention scene is so much fun. I gotta say. And I'm involved in some movies now. I'm on as co-producer on 13 Fanboy, and I know we've got a James Balsamo film or two that we're both part of, and The Witches in the Sand, which we're going to talk about here soon. But I also saw the music video you were part of recently.
Oh, did you see that?
I enjoyed that. Number one, I love the old pie in the face joke, and he blasted you.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I've actually
No, I love the whole way it came out and the dancing at the end and sleeping under the tent. And
and all the young people just can't figure it out.
we are. Of course, he has a severed arm with 5 Super Bowl rings. Would you expect less?
There you go. No, I enjoy that kind of humor. Actually, it's funny
How'd you see it?
because, huh?
How'd you happen to see the music video? Which, by the way, for your fans, if you're looking around for music, it's by 2 women called Hey King. And it's called Sorry. It is. It's a lot of fun.
I forget how I saw that. That's a good question. It was on
And in
Facebook.
horror.
It was on Facebook. You see, I do throw out a charity challenge often, the to some of my guests called the Doubtfire Face Challenge, for suicide and depression awareness. Came up when Robin Williams passed away.
What's it called?
The
Did you
Doubtfire Face
Doubtfire,
Challenge.
like Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah. It came up after the Ice Bucket Challenge, and the Doubtfire Challenge involved you taking a pie in the face, and you nominate 3 people. I done it, and I threw it out to some of my guests, and I've had a few takers on that. Yeah. I should send a cameo to you and get you to do one.
On a cameo?
Yeah.
Well, just is that what you mean?
I could send one out to you on Cameo if you want me to. Or I could challenge you on how much is your
Cameo? We can just do one ourselves and keep the money.
Oh.
I mean, Cameo takes money. That's how they exist. Either way is
Yeah.
fine. But I just did that for a film festival in the UK, which I should think of the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going through Cameo, I just did 3 videos for him. And so he paid me for the 3 videos. But I love doing Cameo. I'm not saying people shouldn't do Cameo. I think for a greeting, a birthday greeting, anniversary greeting, Valentine's, just because you care about someone, there's nothing that I know of that's like video that you can get what you get for the money.
Yeah. I should throw the Doubtfire Face Challenge at you.
Well, I make them really fun.
Yeah.
I kind of go, hi, everybody. It's Eileen Dietz from The Exorcist, and I want you to meet someone. This is Pazuzu. What would you like me to say, Eileen? Well, you could start out by saying happy birthday to Gilbert. Oh, okay. Happy birthday, Gilbert. But I really would rather be demonizing people. Oh, come on. Pazuzu, hush up. This is a nice thing for you to do. Oh, okay. And, so on. Jane and Jill are the ones that asked you to say happy birthday. So thank them. Thank you. What did you say? Jane and Jill. Thank you, Jane and Jill. I'll do the best I can. So, and that's how I do the cameos. So any of you are interested, just go to Cameo and look up Eileen Dietz, and I'll be there for you. If you want promotions or anything like that, then that's separate.
Okay. I just thinking if you did a Doubtfire Challenge, you could buy yourself as Pazuzu.
I can only do one. I don't know 3 people I can throw a pie at.
No. You take the pie in the face, but you nominate 3 people.
I can't do that. I don't nominate people for anything. I personally think it's rude. I mean, I did the bucket challenge, but I didn't nominate anybody. I just did it. So, yeah, it's like those old things I used to send out. Like, if you don't send this to 15 people, you're going to have death. You're going to have dire things happen to you. And
I don't do that. But
what I started doing for a while, because I was superstitious, they said if you don't do this, something bad's going to happen. So I would do it. And then if I sent anything to anybody, I just say, please, you don't have to do this. I just have to fulfill a commitment. But I can't do that with them. I'm sorry. I would love to support your charity, but I can't do that with a pie in the face.
That's all right. That was fun watching that video there, though. That was funny.
I can do it just for you, but not nominate 3 other people.
Oh, sure. If you want to do it just for me, and you don't have to nominate people. But some people have been very creative, like Sandy Johnson from Halloween. Her husband was dressed up as Michael Myers. Biter. And Nancy McLaughlin had props from Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives behind her.
I know Nancy McLaughlin very, very well. We took an acting class together back in the 70s.
I talked to
along with Tommy.
I talk to Nancy on a weekly basis.
No, really? We'll tell her I said hi.
I will. Yeah.
Does she listen to your podcast?
Oh yeah, she's been on here 3 times.
I know, but would she be listening to me?
Sure. Not right now because we're not live. We're just
No,
recording.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, you can edit this out if you want, but she took these amazing headshots,
Uh-huh.
which she put online, with the most god awful red lipstick anybody could imagine. And you don't look at her eyes, you don't look at your face, you just look at this god awful red lipstick. And I would never say anything to anybody because the headshots are done. It's like saying, "Oh God, that's the worst haircut I ever saw." Well, thank you very much. What am I going to do about it? I can't put it back on. So I would never say that to her, but I just said it to her personally. So maybe you should edit this all out.
Oh, I don't know how to edit these these
Oh, you
here.
don't edit them?
I don't know how.
Nancy, I love you. I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh,
You go to
Nancy,
Photoshop them and take the red lipstick out. You look beautiful.
Nancy does look beautiful. I love her red hair, and she still has that red hair.
I can't believe it. I knew her before she was pregnant, and now they're all
Yeah, but
a show for you.
yeah, no, I talked to Nancy quite a bit, so
But Tommy never does the show.
I've had Tom on twice. Yeah, I've had Tom on twice. I've had Nancy on 3 times.
You know what? Tom, he just had something horrible happen to him. Did you hear about that?
No.
He's finally shooting a movie again. And it was in a horror anthology, apparently. And they brought him down to the deep south,
Mm-hmm.
shooting on this plantation. And apparently, the promoter, the director, producer, whoever they were, the guy who owned the location decided he didn't want to film there. So they sent him home until they could figure it out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Tommy didn't need that.
No. No. No, I've had Tom on a couple times, and I've had Nancy on 3 times, but
Yeah, I don't know. You know, some people they just actors too. They just can't find work.
yeah. Well,
I haven't stopped working, but I'm the poor man's Dee Wallace or Lynn Shay or I don't know. I don't
I've
know.
interviewed both of them.
Or Adrienne Barbeau. I don't know what Adrienne Barbeau is doing.
I've interviewed Barbeau as well.
They charge a lot more money than I do. That's why I say I'm the poor man's. They do. They charge a lot more money than I do to work. But I love to work and I love the parts I'm doing. And I've shot, I think it's 7 films since.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then I'm doing another one. I'm going to West Virginia, of all places, on July 7th. No, July 15th. And then I'm doing another film the first week in August. I work a lot because I love working a lot. And I guess I'd say 95% is from personal recommendation or people I know.
Well, I do know that, and I was so happy to do this. You had reached out to me about It Wants Blood, and I told James Balsamo, put Eileen in this movie, And I saw the rough cut of it. I'm waiting for the Blu-ray where I could see the whole thing because I cameo in that movie. I just had to shoot my scene and send it to him.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, Eric Roberts is watching me on a television. I think that's cool. And I didn't even have to leave here.
Yeah, no, that's very cool.
And I'm featured during the end credits too, as one of the people speaking. But I see you you there when that creature is running and you're trying to do a news report.
Oh, no, that was that It Wants Blood too?
That was It Wants Blood.
Yeah, because I worked with them again, with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Down at James's place.
Yeah.
Could have been the same character, but I get eaten by a different monster.
Shame on him. He's not supposed to let you get eaten.
I think I got eaten twice.
Yeah.
But then I did another film for him about that alien danger thing he did.
He asked me if I would take part in that, but I'm right now financially not in a place where I can. I've done 9 of his films, but I did tell him when I get things financially stabilized here, I gladly
I wanted you to fly down.
no, he reaches out to me and I could be an associate producer on it, buy him one of the perks for the film, and plus I get to shoot my scene, which I do on my phone, and I send it to him. But it costs money, so
Well,
which
he's paying $4,000 to Doug Bradley to do the next Alien Stranger.
oh really?
Yeah, I didn't know he had that kind of money, but my manager, Chris Rowe, handles Doug Bradley. So he said, Eileen, what did he pay you? Oh.
They should have Doug Bradley versus Eileen Dietz. It could be Pinhead versus Pazuzu.
I did that with May She Rest in Peace with Marilyn Burns.
Oh
we
yeah.
we did a show that absolutely nobody came to, and it was between Pennsylvania and Ohio somewhere, and it was way in the back of a mall. They had moved the location. I mean, nobody came. I've done a couple shows like that. So
I
Marilyn,
would come.
well, about maybe 50 people came. So Marilyn and I had nothing to do, so we got into a fake fight, and Pazu fought her chainsaw, and all the 20 people that were there or something came around and started watching us and cheering us on. Of course, I won. She doesn't say that, but I won. So it's a nice memory.
Marilyn left us way too soon. Yeah. I've had 4 people from Texas Chainsaw Massacre on, but Marilyn left us way too soon. But I heard great things about her.
She was, and I have to pat myself on the back because she really wasn't doing much. And I saw her at Cinema Wasteland in Ohio. And of course, we talked, and I said, what are you doing? And she said, not much. And so I introduced her to Chris, my manager, Chris Rowe. And he took her on, and all of a sudden she was doing horror conventions, not for Helter Skelter, which we did together, which is why I know her, but for Chainsaw Massacre, and she did shows everywhere. And I think probably in Europe too. And she also started shooting films. So I very much she and Chris became real close. And so I definitely pat myself on the back for that, because why not? I mean, why wouldn't anybody do that? But people don't want to go out of their way to eat. I mean, if I introduce somebody to somebody, that's it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, I'm really sorry. But, all I do is make the introduction. I'm not responsible for any of this. And I mean, even if I recommend someone to be a director or, to be an actor in a movie or anything like that, it's truly, I'm done. I hope it works out for you. You can come happy to me, but don't come crying to me. And it seems to have worked out. But a lot of, for some reason, people don't like to make recommendations. They feel responsible.
I recommended you to James.
Yeah. You did.
I did.
He called me up. He came up here and we did a little thing about a reporter.
Yeah.
It took about 50. Pasted the dialogue on the tree. Well, thank you then.
I was happy to do it because, I'm in this and I'm like, wow, I could share a film with Pazuzu. They got to do a scene where you go all Pazuzu on James Balsamo.
I won't do that. It's funny, but I won't do that. I mean, there was a horrible movie that I'm glad I wasn't part of, and I backed up from it. It's called An Axe to Grind. Do you hear about that?
I've heard about
that. Daniels took over directing the whole thing. Okay. Unfortunately, a friend of mine was directing it, and they let him go. Anyway, they wrote this scene that was making fun of what I did in The Exorcist. And at that time, I said, no, not on your life. I will never, I mean, look at Linda did that movie called Repossessed, which I never saw. But I would never do anything. I like your idea, but I would never do anything that made fun of The Exorcist.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many films have you done with James now?
2.
2. I've done 9.
Oh, Lord.
And I've never met him.
No, I played the Queen of the Planets. That was fun.
I just shot my scenes on my phone and sent them to him. It was Genevieve Rossi was how I connected with him. And he just phoned me up one night. I was working a back shift at work. And this was a few years ago, but he sent me a message and asked if I would shoot my own death scene for Cool as Hell 2. I stared at that email for about 5 minutes, and then I called him up. It was 4 a.m. where I was, so it was midnight where he was. He was up, and we had a long chat, and because I'm not an actor, but he said he liked doing my show, and so I knew Linnea Quigley had a small part in that, and I got an idea for my death scene from watching her scene in the trailer for it. So, and then he's been approaching me ever since. So I did two little scenes in It Wants Blood, and he said, "You'll be watched on a screen by Eric Roberts," and I'm like, I'm in. I'm in.
So you can do a lot of films with Eric Roberts.
I haven't had him on
Eric
here
Roberts
yet.
is in everything.
Yeah, I haven't had him on here yet. I got to get him, But yeah, I pitched.
Well, God bless him. He's like me. He likes to work.
Yeah, yeah. But we got to talk about the witches in the sand. I come to find out about this film because I saw it posted on Lynn Laurie's Facebook page. I met Lynn at Horrorama 2018. I thought she was so gorgeous and Shivers, and meeting her in person, she's still stunning, and she's coming on the show here soon. And anyway, I saw the post of Witches in the Sand, so I clicked on it. And you had like yourself and Genevieve Rossi, Linnea Quigley, and Lynn, of course, and Barbara McNaughey, who I just made a connection with tonight. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like the sounds of this. Deborah Lamb is in this, Lloyd Kaufman. And I was like, okay, I'm sold. So I got in contact with Tony Martin, the director. I had him on here about 2 weeks ago, and had a nice chat with him, and he spoke very highly of everybody. And I'm going to have my picture in the movie.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I don't do much in that movie. I just right now he's still looking for something else. Right now, I just do something very funny in the credits.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where the project looked interesting, and I was like, it's got a lot of great names in it, and I always look for a story, so I asked him if he wanted to come on, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm involved in that movie. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. I was just looking around, actually.
Oh, I thought maybe Pazuzu was.
No, it's just no, not really. I was just looking around.
No, but you've got a lot of projects coming up here. Actually, I'm going to minimize this because I'm going to look at your Internet Movie Database here because you've got some projects that I recognize.
I can tell you what I got coming up.
Well, I know you got something called The Hag Witch.
Yeah, that's coming up in West Virginia.
Yeah, because I have. Oh, I thought this was okay. I thought that Hayden Newman was involved with this. Maybe he's not. Okay. It does have some good names in it though. Okay. I did hear of that project. And Clown Motel 2.
Yeah, we're having a preview of that on the 24th of June.
Mm-hmm.
The screening.
And Christmas Party Man. Okay, out of these projects, which ones are you most excited about?
All of them.
All of them?
I just came back from Cleveland. I did a show called, I don't know what the name of it now is. It was supposed to be called The Cincinnati Curse. And I think it's called I Sensing now or something like that. But it's about the cicadas that come there, the bugs that come there every 17 years. Have you heard about them?
No.
They come every 17 years. How do they know it's 17 years? And they burrow into the ground and they stay there for 17 years and then they come out and mate. But when you hear them, it's this huge swarm. I mean, you can't discount the sound. It's just amazing, almost like, I don't know, airplane propellers or something like that. Just, it'd be like buzzing, but they're not bees. They're just swarms. And they're totally harmless. And they won't or sting you, but they can suffocate you because there's so many of them. I mean, they've said there's like 1 billion, basically all over the Midwest. And so for like 2 minutes, I got to go for a second.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. Yep. I'll just press pause here. There we go. I just paused it. I'd never done that before.
Oh, so you weren't just waiting on air. You hit pause?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Perfect. Although I was admiring all your collectibles behind you, I got mine kind of in boxes because this is kind of a temporary location for me.
Oh, I didn't talk about my book.
Oh, yeah, please talk about your book.
Does anybody like to read out there?
Yeah. I still read.
Well, in this book, it's called Exorcising My Demons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a young actor's journey to the Exorcist and back. And it's, basically it's a non-word. It's not basically, it's about how a great guy named Dan Louvier, I just spoke to him, the story to him. But it's basically about how a young, flat-chested, buck-toothed little girl from New York City found herself in the scariest movie of all time. And there's all kinds of anecdotes of what I went through when I was becoming an actress. Some very sad, some very tragic. And you'll laugh, you'll cry, and then you get to the screen test and how I got the part and what I did to get the part and how I prepared for it. And after the screen test, we talk about the screen test. It was really funny. I tried to emphasize on very funny things, not just what scary happened in the movie, although of course I touch on that because that's the first question people always ask me. Did those things really happen? But I like to make it also funny. And you'll find out everything you've ever wanted to know about The Exorcist from somebody who was there. So, by the way, Father's Day is coming up. Those are all great Father Day presents, don't you think? I also have Captain Howdy's green pea soup, which is really, that's the label, Captain Howdy's green pea soup. I don't have it out here. And there's really green pea soup inside if you get really hungry. And I have an Exorcist script, the original script that you guys can read in your living room. And I guess the best way to order any of this is to find me on Facebook and send me a personal message. But I will come get you if you just want to talk to me. I will be very, very upset. Me and Pazuzu. So if you want to talk to me, just send me a notification or something. Or I guess you can go to my webpage. You can't order anything off the webpage, but it's eileendietz.com. That's my commercial.
I will have to order some of this stuff.
And furthermore, if you order my Pazuzu statue, we will send away absolutely free an 8x10 photograph from the film. You get Pazuzu, a photograph. What else do you need? Plus postage.
Nice. I'll have to PayPal you. I got to think about how much of this I want. I like your Pazuzu.
You can buy everything, and then you have to work an extra shift.
Probably.
Yeah, but I still keep my prices so much lower than so many people now.
Yeah, absolutely.
$90 a photograph, and I don't mean people like Jamie Lee Curtis, which is all for charity, and she charged $90. I'm pretty sure Shatner charges that much, and what's his name from The Living Dead? He does. He made $90,000 at children. He worked a lot to get to where he is, and try and make it last. I hope he gets other work after The Walking Dead.
Well, you know what? I got to order some of that stuff. I even like the idea of the Exorcist script, because I got a few scripts here I've gotten from guests. So, yeah, I'd be open to something like that.
You can buy anything you want.
There you go. Well, I'll have to private message you and get a word on the price of all the items I want and send you a PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send me a Facebook. I always put the prices on Facebook rather than on my personal messages rather than just putting them out there. But hey, you guys out there, when is the podcast going on?
I don't know. I'll be sending this to you probably before it goes public, but you'll be able to put it up.
I never put them up. I just wait for other people to put them up.
Oh, you wait for other people to put them up? Because I know your first one is up. So
I don't have Cameo. I don't put my cameos out there or stuff like that. I don't know.
No,
I didn't. No, I just my friends last night were telling me I should do TikToks, and I don't know about that either. I'm a serious actress. I don't mind being silly and doing silly stuff, but I don't want to degrade myself. And I don't know what they were talking about. TikTok sounded really weird.
Well, James Balsamo definitely goes into those territories. That's why we love him.
What does he do?
Oh, he goes into some weird territories.
Well, he's James Balsamo. He also goes like this whenever he takes a picture.
Yeah.
I actually saw some picture on him somewhere on Facebook. And I had to write him back and say, "You look great," when you just got a little smirk, like, something like that. You look great and sexy, James. So, I don't know if this will be out in time for Father's Day.
It might be.
Father's Day is the 24th, and you need 2-day. I always send everything 2-day delivery as soon as I get the money. I try and send it out as soon as I can. So who knows?
Yeah. So out of the projects you got coming up, you have a lot. Pick 2 or 3 that stand out to you that you worked on that you want to plug on here. But
I love. I did a film for them in September called The Bleeding Dark.
Okay.
Which was what would happen after a home invasion, that they catch the people in the driveway coming home from an evening, and they kill his wife. And Courtney Gaines plays the lead. And I tell you about a newcomer who is great, but I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Sebastian. He plays the son. And the Courtney Gaines character just can't get over it, how he didn't protect his wife. And now he's acrophobic. He can't leave the house and he sees visions. And Joe Castro did the makeup on it.
I've had Joe Castro on here. Yeah.
Oh, he's another one that you just let him talk.
Yep.
But and then I just did another film for the same people called The Last Sleigh Ride, SLAY. And that was so much fun. I played Granny Vampire. You know, she was crazy. And that wasn't her voice. She had a different voice. She was crazy, but you know, she couldn't hear that well, and she kept going, "What? Well, what's going on?" And then she's like, "I want meat. I want man meat. Yum yum yum." And licking blood off the floor. So everybody should look for that. It'll be out before Christmas time. It's called The Last Sleigh Ride by Jason Hawkins and
There you
others.
go.
And then, like I said, the last one I just did was done by a guy named Dave Bailey, and it's about these bugs, the cicadas. And so it's really kind of spooky. And I'm in a wheelchair, and of course, there has to be the scene where I can't get away from them. So, I mean, so that was great. I mean, I was just having fun. Clown Motel 2, which they say is better than Clown Motel 1. And I play the Queen of the Clowns. And there's one scene we're working in the caverns, and I have a line that says, "I feel aliens are near," something like that. And they said, as God is our witnesses, when I said aliens are near, my hair just blew up 3 times on 3 takes. So that was the caves are the most fabulous part of Clown Motel 2. They're just a wonderful part of the character, and that'll be coming out at the end of the month. And those who saw Clown Motel 1 will probably like it, but it's better than Clown Motel 1, and you don't have to have seen the first one to watch the second one. And I did another movie called Compatible that's about a dating site gone wrong. You know what the unique thing about this is that all the people who are participating in this site can watch some of these dates and tell you if the guy is right for you or wrong for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I play the mom of the daughter that it's very, very wrong. And so that's Compatible. That's got a lot of kind of blood and SM. Joe Kelly, who he directed and acting in it, and he plays the serial killer. So he's really good. So, and I always have to mention Thomas Churchill. I'm doing it because now Amityville Harvest came out about a year and a half ago or something like that, and it's you're looking for just a nice little creepy horror film with a great reveal at the end, which I do.
Mm-hmm.
Another wheelchair. It's a great reveal at the end, and you're just not knowing what you want to do one night. Pick it up. It's called Amityville Harvest by Thomas Churchill. There, Thomas, I did it. And of course, there's bunches along the way that my good friends, they have a production company called Fuzz on the Lens, and they did a horror comedy called Abnormal Attraction, which if you just feel like laughing, it's really fun. And Bruce Davison does one of the leads. Malcolm McDowell's in it. I brought him along.
Leslie Donaldson's in that.
The what?
Leslie Donaldson's in that.
Yes, Leslie is. And,
yeah.
And, you know, she does a great job. She does. They have a therapy session, which is what Abnormal Attraction is, because the monsters are all here, and you name the monster, and the monsters in it, whether it's Yetta or Bigfoot or all those monsters. And the makeup is amazing. And then the people in the town are here, and they hate each other. It's a big racist thing.
Mm-hmm.
And all Leslie does is she's in a therapy session about trying to get rid of her attraction. She is so good in that one scene, one little scene. She's so good in it. I love praising actors.
I have had her on here twice, and when you mentioned that, I was like,
but
that
she's
sounded...
Canadian.
I met her at Horrorama 2017. So, yeah.
I think she moved back. I think she
Yep.
moved back to Canada.
Yeah. So, so yeah, I knew about that project. Malcolm McDowell. I didn't know you was in that. Yeah.
Well, you got to look at my IMDb again.
I'm gonna have to look that film up.
I don't play a monster though. They said, we don't want you to play a monster. We want you to play something else. And I said, no, I want to play a monster. I play monsters because I love playing monsters, but I ended up playing the mom of one of the heroes.
You mentioned that you like to work, and you obviously are working a lot. Do you have a process on what scripts and parts you choose? What do you
Yeah,
have a
actually,
system?
it's actually very, very simple.
Okay.
Um, as God said, first there was the word,
Uh-huh.
and Shakespeare said, speak the words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if there's no script, I'm not interested. I don't care how good the the characters are, how much my role, how good my role is, or um, God, they're talking about my friends that were over last night. We're talking about Cruella. Is that how you pronounce it?
Cruella?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
the new
I
one
I
about the
I
lady and her Dalmatians.
I went to see that. I'm a huge Emma Stone fan.
I heard that Emma Thompson was absolutely amazing in it.
Yep, she is. Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. This was the point I was making, and then I will let you make your point.
Mm-hmm.
My friends last night, they said the costumes were amazing, the acting was amazing, um, everything was amazing, and there was no script. They said it was just garbage time. There was no real story in it. That's how they felt.
I thought the film had a really good story, but that's just me. I enjoyed it. Emma Thompson was fantastic. As I said, I'm a huge Emma Stone fan. Been so since her first movie. So
I
I was
like her
looking.
a lot too.
Yeah. Well, she seems to be very diverse. She can do pretty much any genre, So yeah, I'll always go see something that Emma Stone is in because I'm always interested to see what she's gonna do next.
But you can see things I was in if they go into theaters. They're all streaming though.
Yeah, I know when my brother and his wife and I get our housing project on the go once COVID settles down, goes away, I'll be able to have more room to do more stuff, and maybe I'll be able to set something like that up where I can see a lot of the stuff because some of that
You don't stream things now.
I don't. No, I'm not very tech savvy either. If something's on YouTube, then I'll see it. The other stuff I don't know.
It's actually very simple. You just have to pay for it.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not that much, but like Hulu is $5.99 a month, but it's
Ah,
worth it for The Handmaid's Tale. It's just a fabulous show, and there's another show that's real political called The Good Fight
mm-hmm.
that is marvelous, or Grace and Frankie with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomla.
Oh, I love them.
It's a lot of good stuff out there, but it does cost most of them cost about $5.99 a month, $3.99 a month, or something like that.
Yeah. So what do you got coming up? What do you got? I I know you're supposed to go off again. What did you say, July to shoot something?
Yeah. Well, the next thing actually is we're taking our boat out to Lake Mojave outside of Laughlin for the holiday, which
Mm-hmm.
is absolutely fabulous. There's nobody on the lake anymore. It's just us.
Mm-hmm.
Then I come back. I go to West Virginia for the Hag
Mm-hmm.
um, thing, and then I come home. I go to Detroit for Motor City Nightmares,
Okay.
and then I come home right away. And the first week, I'm doing a movie. I'm not quite sure the name of it. I thought it was called The Devil, um, but my manager's just handling that whole thing. So I did a project for them last December or January. It was called Sally Floss and the Missing Ring. It was very Nancy Drewish. And so they called me back and asked me to do another film, which is always the highest compliment when you
Mm-hmm.
can work for someone twice. They
Yeah.
like me. They really like me.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Oh,
Sally Field. I mean, Sally Field was always obviously, and that's in my book too. but she was always like one of my idols, not quite a mentor, but because I mean we're the same size, and I started watching her as the Flying Nun, for God's sake. But she did a brilliant movie with Brad Davis. Um, it was called Sybil, where she played 6 different characters. And
Oh,
anyway, I've just always loved her, and Sybil is a great film. Brad Davis, if you know him from Roots, was just crazy as a loon, but he was so talented, and he wasn't dangerous to anybody but himself, I suppose. So, and I have no idea why I just brought up Sally Field.
she's awesome, like you.
I thank you. What it's funny that happens more and more lately. That the
Hmm.
thought goes through your head and then it goes away. It's gone.
So, you got any conventions coming up, or are you steering
Well, yeah,
clear of those?
I'm going to, I actually only have two, three maybe. And like I said, I'm going to Detroit for Motor City
Mm-hmm.
Nightmares on the 31st of July.
Mm-hmm.
And I got two shows in October. One is from a guy named Eric Berner. I forgot the name of the show. And the other from a guy named, what is his name? Jason Higworth. And I don't know what the name of his show. It's a new show in Fort Lauderdale. And the rest
Okay.
of them we'll just see what's coming up. I mean, I
Well,
make more money at conventions, but I'd rather shoot films.
I'm going to.
I turned down a lot of shows this year. They called them pop-ups,
Mm-hmm.
and so they'd only be on Saturday. I don't see how that helped. People were carrying the virus before the vaccine. How does it help? It was only one day. But I haven't heard any mass reports of people getting sick
No.
from conventions. I mean, Bill Philpott's been doing Days of the Dead, I think, since last April or
Mm-hmm.
March, and I've really never heard of any great plague, thank God,
Mm-hmm.
coming on them. Kind of like what you heard about the Republican conventions. A lot of people got sick, and he's doing them again.
Mm-hmm.
Yoo-hoo! Um, so I don't know. I suppose they will pop up, and I mean I like doing them, but maybe Linda Blair is out there taking all my work away.
Oh, I'd like to meet you.
No, I mean we really can't do this. We did one same show because I was booked first. That was the
Mm-hmm.
Bill Philpott Days of the Dead, and she was in a different room. I never saw her. Never saw her, and I'm sure she did extraordinarily well because I did too, but she just won't do it. She carries that anger around with her for over 40 years.
Well, you know what?
She
She
thinks that
got.
cost her the Oscar, really, because I came out. She won the Golden Globe, and I
Mm-hmm.
came out and um, sold my book. A newspaper reporter, um, a gossip columnist, ran the story that I was in L.A. and I was in the movie doing the best scenes in the movie, and it became a huge, big thing. It just broke my heart. Um, a huge thing. Who did what? Who was in the movie? And Warner's tried to deny that I was in the movie because they wanted Linda to win the Oscar, but everybody in town knew that Linda didn't do that work because she was too young. And
Wasn't there about 6 people that did
yeah, that's
Reagan?
what I said. There were actually 6 people. There was the lighting double, um, the stunt double. That's different than the lighting double, which
Uh-huh.
people love to call me a stunt double. I wasn't a stunt double. It's an extra. I never did extra work. So we have the lighting double, the stunt double, the girl who did the spider walk,
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes McCambridge who did the voice,
Yeah, I heard of Mercedes. Yeah.
and Linda Blair who did whatever she did, and
Mm.
me. So the beauty and the absolute talent, as far as I'm concerned, the amazing craft that they put together is that they could put 6 people together and make one character out of it, and nobody knew. Which is why I didn't get credit because they wanted everybody to think she did it, and I was fine with that. I didn't care. Just leave me alone. Um, that And if they had come out and said that, yeah, we took 6 people and made them into one, and you didn't even know, instead of trying to claim that she did all that work herself, including the masturbation scene, of course, which is what I was originally hired for. I think they would have won some Oscars, but Gil Gates, who is president of the Oscars, the Academy of National Arts and Sciences, he hated the movie. He said, if that movie wins Best Picture, I'm quitting. So seriously, so I had absolutely nothing to do with it, except who I was and what I did, but I didn't do it, you know what I mean? And so she's hated me for over 40 years because of that. She thinks she would have had a career.
Well,
and the funny thing is, who won the Oscar last year?
Frances McDormand.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. Who won the Oscar the year before?
I don't remember. I know Emma Stone won for La La Land back then.
I love that movie, except for the end. What the heck did they do to the end of that movie?
Yeah.
It's oh, we have to make everybody happy. I mean, it was so wrong, the end of that movie.
I quit watching the Oscars because James Franco won the Golden Globe for The Disaster Artist, and where he played Tommy Wiseau. And Tommy Wiseau was my first guest here on the show. And The Room has became notorious as being a bad movie. And The Disaster Artist was a film about the making of that movie, with James Franco playing Tommy Wiseau. James won the Golden Globe. And then the whole Me Too movement thing comes out, and even James's sister-in-law had said any accusations that were made to him were never proven. And
it didn't matter.
Yeah, and then he didn't get the nomination for The Disaster Artist, and I'm like, it became way too. I don't know if the word political is the word, but
no, the pendulum just swung too far the other way. I thought the pendulum had to swing a little bit.
Yeah.
There were some of the things with Weinstein, for God's sake, that had to be said and had to be spoken of. But now I think, God, I mean, when I was coming up as an actress in New York and working on films and, stuff like that, and I was very friendly. I guess it was flirtatious, but I was certainly very friendly. The way people came on to me was that's what they did, and you just went by, or second ADs were great. Because they had no power whatsoever. But they said, hey, come along with me, honey. I can get you a part in this. I can do this for you. And yeah, go away. But if I came down on, excuse that, everybody, if I came down on any of those people, it was just me saying, oh yeah, he came on to me and, don't get me started with Cuomo. And even, I don't know if you know Chris Matthews on MSNBC, who's about the same age as Cuomo. That's what men did then. And neither one of them attacked anybody. Neither one of them touched anybody. It was Chris Matthews. He said, I'd like to marry you. Are you kidding me? That's something wrong with that? Or Cuomo, 4 or 5 people, he'd flirt with them and come on to them really strongly. But it was just come-ons. He never touched anybody, apparently. So that's why I think the pendulum is going way. I mean, somebody can make a comment about you.
Oh yeah.
And I like to kid my manager about it. Who, he stands 6 feet apart from you before COVID. if they were attractive women, I say, hey Chris, the last show we did, we were together. What's to stop me from saying, hey, he came into my hotel room. Everybody could see, he'd always come in my hotel room and we'd sit and chat because we're friends as well as managers. So it's going too far the other side.
Yeah. No. Do you get any other?
Chris handles Malcolm McDowell. and Bruce Davison and Meg Foster and people like that.
Oh, Meg Foster, those eyes.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Oh yeah. No. Any charities or whatnot that of course you can plug your webpage on here as well that you want to promote on here?
Nope. I'm much more a person that when I'm not going to open up a can of worms here, am I?
Mm-hmm.
But when if a friend or someone like that, excuse me, Linda Blair, because of her pet thing, I have problems with. I want to
Mm-hmm.
say Petco, but that's the name of the store. Um, but a lot of things that are about animals or horses or so something will come on my Facebook or something like that or on a GoFundMe, and I don't do birthday things because I can't. I got 5,000 friends. If I answer one birthday thing, then why not answer two or four or six? You know what I mean? And I would never go out for my birthday like that. But once in a while something will come along or a child that's a friend of mine that
Mm-hmm.
really needs help, and then yeah, absolutely I help them. Probably twice a month, something like that. If it just
Yeah.
it breaks my heart. And sometimes I have to just scroll past animal pictures and um or babies. It's just too painful. I know it's out there, but it's too painful. So that's how I generally do it, rather than just come up with the charity myself. I'd rather be there for people
Mm-hmm.
and not create them. I mean, like if they still had the telethons, remember are you old enough to remember the telethons? Like
Yes.
Jerry Lewis used to do one for muscular dystrophy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me, I'm walking. Look at me, And I would be a guest on any of those. In fact, I did one. I was on the phones for somebody. It was a long, long time ago. Maybe it was muscular dystrophy or something like that. So
Yeah.
I'd rather be, in this case, I'd rather be a participant rather than a leader. But your charity sounds great.
Okay. Okay.
I'm definitely against suicide.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Depression.
absolutely why more than any other reason
Mm-hmm.
is I truly believe that a lot of people who kill themselves, I understand the agony and the pain and the depression, and the hopelessness. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe if they had waited a day, maybe if they found the right person to talk to, maybe it was very impulsive, and that breaks my heart. And that even Robin Williams, these people don't realize the effect it has on the people who are left. My friend Angie from Denver, she does a lot of PR. You might have heard of her, Angie Joseph. She does a lot of PR. And her brother killed himself last year, and one of her
Oh.
daughters found him. So,
Oh.
you guys out there, thank God there are places you can get help, and if you're really, really intent on doing something, please call one of these places. Maybe it'll get better. I mean, I'm never depressed like that, but I too go into stages of depression where the whole world looks bleak, or my career's over, or Linda won't let me do a show. um, and I have a sense of what being bleak is. Obviously, I'm not where these people are. But the next day, I mean, it sounds silly to say, but the sun will come out tomorrow. That maybe it will get better, and maybe you can find the right person to talk to. But take a day and see what happens. So, yeah, that kind of thing is very close to my heart.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get in touch with Chris Alexander to see if I can get you to Horrorama, and you could
Tell him I'll give
also.
him a statue.
There you go.
Tell him I'll give him a head. That always sounds so funny. Tell him I'll give him a head.
I gotta get both of those pieces and,
Okay.
and the script and.
Get him before I run out. I have a friend of mine in Colorado that's been
Mhm.
making the statues and heads for me for over 20 years. I met him at a film festival up in Denver. A tiny, tiny little festival. It's called Mile High. And it actually grew so big that they threw them out. They took over a movie theater, but this was tiny. And I met him there, and he's been making statues for me ever since. He makes, the horses in front of a grocery store.
Uh-huh.
And he does that for a living. And he's just very kind to me. Sometimes he gets really, really busy. And I just ordered 12 new statues. And Thomas said, "Why didn't you get 20?" I said, "Because I didn't think I needed 20, but I just sold 3 today. So I don't know."
You sell a lot of them at conventions?
Yes.
Yeah.
That, and this past year, I think that because people aren't going to conventions, so they have the money, that I've been selling a lot of merchandise, whether it's 8x10 photos or scripts or all the things I told you about before. I've been selling a lot of stuff. And I
There
think
you
it's
go.
because people have the extra money because they're not going to conventions or anything. But it's very flattering. I mean, Warner uses the face of death or Pazuzu in their advertising all the time for the movie. They don't use anything else. So come on, promoters out there. I pull in a lot of business. Come on.
I think so. I'd go meet you.
Well, thank you.
I'd
A lot of
gladly.
people say they would, but they do what they do, and they work. I have great admiration for people who put on conventions. It's like putting on a small Broadway show. It's intense.
I could not do what Sean Clark does. I know that. I could not do it.
I actually couldn't do it. I could consult on it,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't put airplane reservations, hotel reservations, vendors, people dropping out, people not dropping out. There's all these little things, and the day of the show, the protection and the security, and all that kind of stuff. Is there going to be a tornado or it's putting on conventions to me is very, very intense, and I have
Yes.
great admiration for people who do them. Some promoters, I guess, they cheat people, but
I've heard of those.
I know. Well, people try and cheat people on GoFundMe too,
Mm-hmm.
which is really sad for the good people.
Yeah,
So I mean, there's
absolutely.
just a lot of stuff out there, and you just have to be careful who you do business with. And obviously, all my stuff is legit. Sometimes people ask me if they get a big order, if I would just shoot a picture of me signing them, and I don't mind doing that. Just so
Ah.
they know it's me. I don't know who else would get the statues, and they're not going to buy 10 statues from me and sell them for more money. I don't think that would work. So they probably wouldn't do that. But I bet there's pictures of Kazuza or stuff online or on eBay that people forge a signature.
I bought a copy of Chopping Mall from Kelly Maroney, and she sent me a picture of her with the signed copy in her hand. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Kelly and I just did a film together called Staycation. Well,
I know that one. I interviewed Derek Webb, who's in that.
oh, I don't know him, but the
Yeah.
guy, his name is Russell Emmanuel, I think.
Mm-hmm.
A nice guy, really intense,
Mm-hmm.
really so dedicated. But I mean, I never saw Kelly. I've just known Kelly for years. I run into her at Dark Delicacies a lot, you know.
I
And
think
we just,
Kelly's hilarious.
I'd love to run into her. I think I'm gonna invite her out for coffee after this whole thing is over, because she's
Yeah.
been very, very protective, and I think she lives with an older woman, and so she's been really, really careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just signed a whole bunch of pictures for Russell for
Mm-hmm.
staycation, and I invited her to come over, and she said, not yet, soon, but not yet.
Not yet. Well, it was wonderful having you come on here and talk to me tonight, and I know that you you had a meeting or something, but it actually worked out for both of us well. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad to be of service.
yep.
I
I
call them little miracles. I don't call anything coincidences. I call them little miracles. Like We all have little miracles happen all day long, but
Yeah.
some of them are really intense. So I call them little miracles. I'm glad I could help.
Well, if somebody has to postpone or reschedule, I have no problem with that. It's funny because I always tell people, especially podcasters, use the three P's: patience, politeness, and persistence, you know?
But you're definitely persistent.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Genevieve Rossi. Actually, Genevieve Rossi called me, and she's been on my show 3 times. And she wanted to talk to me about podcasters because she was scheduled to do an interview with somebody, and I didn't know who this podcaster was, but I don't have any respect for the person after this. And I don't even remember his name. But she said that she wanted to reschedule with him because um, she had it was going to be some good weather. It was the first time since the pandemic she's been able to go to the beach. And I get that. She wants to have some relaxed time. And she told her situation. She said, would it be okay if we reschedule for another day? And the guy's response was, you're blowing me off to go to the beach. And I'm sitting there thinking, just reschedule.
Of course, she would have been smarter to lie.
Yeah, but you know, I
I
had
mean, if the guy was coming from there anyway, but I think it's um, um, no, I think it's often easier with people to not blow them off because you just want to have more fun or something. And just tell
well,
me how. I won't say just tell me you have a meeting because I really did have a meeting.
yeah.
But just tell them that an audition, a meeting, anything like that. It just makes life easier, I think. And it
Well,
doesn't hurt. See, I don't mind not telling the truth sometimes if it doesn't hurt anybody, because I'm a real bad liar and I always get caught. Um, but to say a meeting or an audition doesn't hurt anybody's feelings.
well,
And the guy sounds like an asshole.
well, I had a week where I had an interview scheduled every day. This was, I think, last month. 2 of those interviews ended up having to be rescheduled. I didn't put up a fuss about that. I get it, because it's like you can't do a podcast and expect everything to go without a hitch. Sometimes you got to do stuff like that. Like with you, I was very persistent, and I had you on again, and you know what? Everything worked out. And I'm glad I was able to get you on tonight because I know you mentioned possibly Monday, but Monday I actually have an interview, and I was like, oh, that might not work out. So I was really
I'm
glad
glad it worked out too. When I see you, I'll sign that T-shirt for you.
There you go. There you go.
Exorcist. I've never seen that T-shirt before. I used to sell T-shirts, and then it got really complicated.
So that's not you?
I'll
you
tell everybody it's me.
you can't do that?
Well, even they had um, a cord underneath her, an invisible cord,
Mm-hmm.
and they held her up when she did that. So she didn't quite do that whole thing herself either.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't in the original version. They put it in
No.
the one of them didn't want it. I can't remember if it was Bill Body or Billy Freakin, but one of them didn't want it, and then the other person, um, you know, held out. Probably Bill Body didn't want it, and Billy Freakin did. I've
Well,
become
that's.
really, really good friends with Bill Body's son. He's hysterical.
Oh
He's
wow.
actually very, very funny.
Yep.
That's I see. I thought promoters would like him. Um,
You would
to
think.
tell stories about his dad and stuff, but they said he wouldn't sell pictures or anything.
Oh wow.
But he's a great guy. Hi, Michael, if you're listening to this. Hi, Michael.
I
And he
should.
lives with a full-grown pig.
I
He's a
should. I
sweet
should.
pig.
I should reach out to him and have him on. I'd be interested in his
No, you
stories.
absolutely should. Do you want me to ask him and give him your stuff?
Yeah, please. Yeah,
I'll ask him
absolutely.
if he has any interest. He might not. He might be
Mm-hmm.
very shy. But I will tell him. He's not shy, but he might
Mm-hmm.
be shy as far as that's concerned.
Okay. Do you have any memories of Ellen? Burstyn in that film?
Can you ask me another question?
Okay. I'll walk
She
past
was
that.
fine. She was on a headset most of the time, listening to things to get her
I,
to whatever emotion she wanted to get to. I
I
just
just,
saw a trailer for something that she did on television. Probably something she's screening, and she did a mom. She works all the time.
I just know one of my favorite shots in The Exorcist is where she comes into the kitchen and the lights turn off and you see the Pazuzu face on the, yeah, and she misses that, but
She
that's
said I was lucky if I had my big toe in the film. This is my confessional podcast. I never do this. Um, but then in a way I understand it because she really was like Linda's mother during the shooting of it. And she came out and she totally protected Linda
hmm
um, from anything or anybody. So I understand that intellectually, but it hurt. And I did all the off camera work for Linda, all of it.
Yeah.
Um, so Linda wouldn't have to do it. And she kind of forgot about that. But people, I've gotten older now. People do what they have to do.
Well, I still love you,
A
and I
lot of
know,
people love me. I don't need,
yeah,
these other people in my life.
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
they
and
tried to get me down, but it didn't work. Here I
no,
am,
well,
better and more beautiful than ever.
yes, you are, and I love the sorry video. That was funny. I was glad to be able to see that and enjoy that. So, that was your husband in the video with you? That was great.
Yeah, he used to run a theater in Hollywood, and he retired. And my agent took him on, not Chris, but someone else. And
Uh-huh.
he's done some commercials. He thinks he knows everything about acting now.
Well, that is amazing. Well, you guys had really good chemistry in that
We've
video.
been together 32 years. I would hope so.
Well, it started out so, like I said, you put something in his coffee or something, he spews it
I put
out, and then
sugar in his coffee.
sugar, and then he,
I mean salt, duh. Yeah,
oh,
put
so,
salt in his coffee.
and then he puts the pie in your face, and then it goes from there. And I like by the end of it, it's like everybody's like, you guys have the spice in your relationship that they don't have.
And the girls, that it's their band and they're singing. They're the ones with the broom underneath it,
hmm
saying what's going on.
Oh yes, I
Shut
remember
up, shut
that.
up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're great, and I love their sound, and they're terrific. Yeah, we had fun. Okay, I'm gonna go. You're gonna go, and I need to take my walk, and it's 7:15.
All right. Before I let you go, do a plug for my show.
Okay, before you let me go, anybody that's interested in any of the stuff I showed you, would
hmm
you go on Facebook and send me a personal message, and I'll be glad to tell you how much everything costs and the
Yep.
postage, and you know when you get it, and I'll autograph it to you and all that kind of stuff. And generally, the Pazuzus do come with an 8x10 photo. So hit me up if you want anything. That's it.
I'm
That's
I'm
my commercial.
I'm going to hit you up on that.
For Father's Day, if we can get this out quick enough,
You know what? I'm going to make a point to do that. I'm going to
because
make a point.
today's the 12th, and it would have to be out, or today's the 12th, and Father's Day is 24th. So they'd have to get the order in by the 20th. That's only 8 days.
I'll get
You
this
can
done
try.
and I'll put it on your page.
Okay.
So, yep, because that way a lot of people would see that too.
Okay.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be for Father's Day. It can be for anything you want. So
It's
that
a
and Cameo. God, I'm one big commercial.
There you go. Well, I really appreciate you, and I was so glad that when you connected with me about the It Wants Blood, the Balsamo film, I said to James, get her in this. If I'm in this, I want her in this because it makes me makes me look even better.
That's really, really sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad we got to do this again. And I'm gonna keep an eye on you because if you get more projects, it seems to me you're constantly working. I'll have you back again. You can promote some more of
Sure,
them.
sure. But
Yeah,
well, I want to meet you in person up at Horror. What's it called? Horror Round?
Horrorama,
Horrorama. Yeah. So I want to meet you in
Horrorama.
person. So make that happen.
I'm gonna see what I can do. I got to get Chris Alexander on that, and he is hard to get hold of. I haven't had him on the show yet,
I know, but
and
you said the other guy books people too.
I'm going to have to, yeah, Luis Cerez. Yep, I'm going to have. Last time I talked to him, he said he doesn't know what's going on with the convention yet, but I'm like, things seem to be simmering down. I hope so, because I didn't take any vacation last year. It's like I don't want to go 2 years with no vacation, you know?
The whole world is taking vacations now for just that reason. I
Mm,
mean, Vegas is totally sold out and for lots and lots of money. And the airlines are ridiculous. They're
yeah.
charging so much money to fly anywhere
Oh,
um, that I don't even know how the promoters are doing some of it.
uh,
But everybody's taking advantage of the situation. And anyway, if I don't walk, I don't want to walk in the dark. It's 7:15. So
okay.
I have a half an hour.
Please do a plug for my show. Just
Sure.
and do it as yourself and Pazuzu.
Okay.
Just
What do you want me to say?
state who you are from The Exorcist and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
I'll try and remember all that. Python's Paradise,
Mm-hmm.
Greg Gilbert.
Yeah,
Okay, let's give it a shot.
go for it.
Hi there. I'm Eileen Dietz, and you probably know me from The Exorcist. And this is my buddy Pazuzu. Hello, everybody. Hey, would you do Greg a favor and promote his show? Do I have to? Okay, I will. This is Greg Garrett. See, I messed it up. Greg Gilbert in Python's what?
Python's Paradise.
Okay, I got it wrong. So sue me. Just listen to Greg Gilbert from Python's Paradise, or I'm gonna come get you. You think Freddy Krueger was something? Wait till I invade your nightmares. Bye-bye.
And we got to get Chris Alexander to come and get you and bring you to Horrorama in Toronto so we can meet.
I'm there. Both of us are there. I'm there too. Bye-bye. I'm going to hang up now. Bye.
You take it easy. God bless. Love
I
you.
will.
Thank you so much.
And you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.